Opening statements and emotional testimony from the fiancée of Justine Rouszczak Damond in a highly charged first day of testimony in the Mohamed Noor case. Don Damond testified that he was on the phone with Justine from Las Vegas and suggested that she call 911 to report what she thought sounded like a possible rape in their alley. Damond said Justine's last words to him were, "Okay, the police are here." In the prosecution's opening statements, they said Justine's last words 1 minute and 19 seconds later after being shot were, quote, "I'm dying." Assistant County Attorney Patrick Lofton said there are no fingerprints and no forensic evidence that Justine slapped the back of the squad car. And that is a huge point of contention because in their opening statements, defense attorney Peter Wold said Noor and his partner Matthew Harity thought that they were being set up for a possible ambush because they couldn't find anything suspicious in the alley. Then the bang on the back of the squad car spooked them into thinking they were under attack. Wold said that Noor shot because he thought their lives were in danger, saying, quote, "It's a tragedy, but it is in no way a crime." Testimony will continue tomorrow morning when prosecutors say they will show some body camera evidence. The judge changed her mind and decided not to shield any of the graphic evidence from the public. Lou Raguse, KARE 11 News.